G'day, it's Mike the Naturepreneur here again. And in this short video I want to talk about why we should love work. You know, I came from a family, we weren't really wealthy. We didn't really talk about business around the dinner table. Didn't have a lot of good things to say about work. One thing my dad said to me was, he said, Mike, if you're going to get into electronics, don't get into the TV repair business. He had a bad experience in his early 40s, lifted a heavy black and white old TV and did his back in. Ever since then he's had back problems, needing morphine injections directly into his spine. He's since had operations, but what a lot of years of suffering. So I grew up thinking work was a dirty word, it was something to avoid. I've since changed my opinion of that. You know, now I look at work as something to enjoy, something to look forward to. But how do you do that? How do you find a job that you love, so that you can come home and you can brag about it to your kids? I used to work on a construction site. I was a form worker. And you know, there's a certain satisfaction in seeing a building come up out of the ground. It's hard work, especially when you're working on a black deck and it's 40 degrees. The heat is burning you from all angles and you've got to pick up these heavy metal props that you can barely carry, let alone when you can hardly touch them. It's a grind. But you know what? I love that grind. I love that hard physical work and the satisfaction that you get at the end of the day. I've got a story about a Amish family, and there was a son, and his job was to milk the cows in the morning. And this might be relevant if you've got kids of your own and you're finding it hard to get them to do what they need to do. Well, this kid's task was to milk the cows, and one morning he forgot. And so his dad said to him, Daniel, you know, you haven't milked the cows this morning. They're going to be in pain because their udders are bursting. They haven't been relieved. So unfortunately you're not going to be able to come and work with me today. You know, we're going to be building a house with the work crew, and you're going to have to stay home. And Daniel, he was in tears. It was funny because it's such a different way of approaching work. You know, when I was growing up, it was more of a punishment when I had to, for example, do the dishes. It wasn't made as something enjoyable. And I think that's the key to any kind of work that you're doing, is to make it enjoyable. Something that you love doing. So if you're in a job that you find that you just can't tolerate, and that you can't wait until vacation comes so you can spend your hard-earned money to take a break, only to come back and do it again for 40 years. You know, if that's the kind of situation that you find yourself in, then perhaps it's time to think of doing something else, or look at what you're doing and look at it in a different light. Until next time, it's bye from me.